Last week I did a video called Don't Let Family Fall Off the Radar. So this is a part two, but really it's a follow-up to that message. And it's a sad message that I shared, but really it comes at the right time. It's Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's a time of family, a time of celebration, a time of gratitude, a time of reflection, the end of the year. And I really just encourage you all to go find older members of your family that aren't getting the love and the attention. And maybe they've fallen away, maybe you've lost connection, maybe they've ostracized themselves, or you've just there's bad blood between you. You know, time marches on regardless of how you feel about each other. And regret is very painful. And I got to see regret firsthand, because let me tell you how the story ends. There's a negative and a positive that comes out of it. I shared with you last week how my Uncle Stan, great Uncle Stan, fell off the radar. And it took another family member passing away before we said, hey, I wonder how Uncle Stan knows. I wonder if he knows about Uncle Joe, because Uncle Joe and Uncle Stan were really close growing up. So I did my digging. I found the realtor that sold Uncle Stan's home, and that led to me finding out who the trustee was, who was in charge of selling the home. It wasn't going down the right path if there's a realtor and a trustee involved, and he wasn't involved. So I spoke with the trustee, and he told me this on a voicemail. He's like, Ken, I'm not sure how to tell you this, but your Uncle Stan, he passed away 5 years ago, and his wife passed away 2 years ago. And that was his message. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. And just, wow. We thought he was alive in 93. But no, he's been gone for 5 years. No one in our family knew. No one. And it's so sad. I sent out a Facebook message to 10, 12 members of my clan and let them know what the story was and how it all went down. And they were all very thankful that I'd let them know. So that's a regret. People in the family feel awful. Like, how could we have gone 5 years? No one was even at his funeral because they didn't even know he died. It's so sad. Don't let that happen to your family. But here's a golden nugget that comes out of it. The silver lining that comes out of this. In the process, my grandfather says, "Why don't you call my cousin Barbara Ann?" And in digging to see who she was, they haven't seen each other since my grandparents' honeymoon 61 years ago. And so she was a little girl back then. And so I called her. At first, I never met her before. It'd be my second cousin, something like that. I called her. She's down in Georgia. And right away, she saw my last name, and she's like, oh my. So she picked up, not thinking someone died, because she hadn't heard it from anyone in the family in probably 20 years. And so, we ended up talking. I tell her the story about Uncle Stan, how he passed away. She was very sad, and she felt bad, and she had said that she spoke with him right before he passed away, but never knew he died. Now, here's what's really cool. Here's the silver lining. I reconnected with Barbara Ann. Well, I reconnected the family to her. I never met her before. This is cool. So my great-grandparents, their names were, Connie and Jerry, my great-grandparents, okay? Connie's sister, Josephine, okay? And my great-grandfather, Jerry's brother, Albert. Albert and Josephine married. My grandparents, our great-grandparents married. So 2 brothers and 2 sisters married around the time of prior to World War II, and each had kids. So the relations of their kids technically are cousins, but because both their parents are brother sister each other, it's almost like they're kind of like siblings, like between cousin and sibling with the DNA and everything. It's really interesting. So my great aunt and uncle had just one daughter. That's Barbara Ann in Georgia, and years and years and years. So she's been disassociated from the family, and the reason why she disassociated because there was a divorce. Josephine and Al divorced, and that was a big scandal back in the 40s and 50s, or I guess whenever that would be, 50s maybe. And so they lost touch. So here it is, 55, 60 years later, or 60 years later, I'm connecting Barbara Ann back with the rest of the family, reintroducing her. So we find out two people in the family passed away. One we knew about, one we didn't. But it ended up bringing someone back to the family. And not only just do we bring her back, but she's gung-ho in genealogy. And she's going to be digging up all these family records and finding out our heritage. And so I'm connecting people in my family. And so you can still do this. So if you've had people fall off the radar, go find them and connect them back to the family. So I share this in the spirit of Dad-namics, holiday encouragement. Get creative, get dad-namic, take the lead. If there's bad blood, life is short. Regret is more painful than the bad blood is today.